The Ryan Tubridy Show on RTE Radio 1, sponsored by Sky Broadband. With our broadband, your world is limitless. Live beyond.
Amy De Bhrún, good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to meet you in real life.
Yes.
Because I've been watching you on Line of Duty.
Yeah.
Congratulations, that's a great role, and you're playing a blinder
thank you.
As a Scouser.
Yes, exactly. It's no mean feat. It's doing the Scouse accent, especially in front of Stephen Graham, is like the ultimate Scouse.
Last week, I suppose if you haven't seen Line of Duty, it's a police procedural drama that's on season 5 currently.
Yeah.
I gobbled every episode of every season up to date.
Yes, so
and
did I.
we spoke to Adrian Dunbar on the Late Late Show last Friday night.
Yeah.
You're here today, so we're fans of it on the programme.
Good.
Which is great. But to see a great Irish presence on the programme is wonderful. But one of the main characters is proper Scouse.
Yes.
Like there was a time,
Yeah.
I was nearly onto the subtitles last week.
I know, and he's like, and I always feel like if I was even doing it, like if I let myself go full Scouse, I'm like, people just think I'm,
What is
I'm
full
taking,
Scouse, Amy?
Full Scouse is like that, like Brooke size.
Because it's got that kind of like phlegmatic.
Exactly. No, it's like, but then it was funny because when we did the table read, Stephen actually said to me, he was like, I thought you were Scouse. And he said,
Oh, good.
yeah. So I was like, okay, thank God. And then he was saying, but I just thought you had a slightly posher accent than me. He said, which my character would have married up anyway.
Yeah,
and I was like,
yeah.
you would have.
You knew what you were doing all along.
Yeah, exactly.
How did you fall into the Line of Duty cast then, Amy? What happened?
I just had an audition, like I guess like everyone else in a way. But so I went up to Belfast and auditioned for them, and it was kind of a bit of a wild card because I'm not Scouse. I was kind of going, sure, I'll go and see what happens. And they just liked the tape, and then I met Jed afterwards, and the creator,
Jed Mercurio.
Yeah, and he was just like, really enjoyed your tape, really like your work, and so it was great, and it's lovely to be recognised in that way because it's not kind of often that happens, where that you can get to chat to the creator and the writer of the entire series. Like,
He's what they call in America more recently probably a showrunner. He's kind of seems to be all over every aspect of it.
He is, and he's very present on set and very but not in an overpowering way, just in a really calm and relaxed way. He's directed a few episodes, and then certain kind of splinter filming groups that need to go off. Sometimes he'll direct some of them as well. So it's amazing.
We should be said that it is filmed in Belfast. I mean, this is one of the upsides of, I suppose, post Good Friday, that there's some great things happening between Game of Thrones and Line of Duty.
Yeah.
It's a hotbed of production and creativity.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just up there recently filming a little bit on Krypton as well. So there's loads going on up there. So I hope it lasts, and I hope, because I even just kind of growing up in Dublin, however many years ago, Belfast, it was still that kind of a place where there was kind of a big question mark over it, and going up there.
And safety and so on.
Safety and everything. Where now it's so nice to just fly up there, enjoy the city, and get to work there as well.
Which is why, with the death of that poor journalist Lyra last week, and the frustration that has spilled out into, like, the people have spoken through that priest at the ceremony, and you can see it all in the news last night, trying to knock heads together with Arlene Foster and Mary Lou MacDonald, because no one wants that descent into crazy again.
No, you just don't want to go backwards. You want to kind of keep moving forwards, and it's such a lovely time, and the city is really finding its feet as well. Like, you get that sense of kind of, the peace and stuff up there. So it's just desperate that we could potentially be looking at.
Yeah, well, here's hoping. Hoping. Was it fun to work on, Amy, or was it brief? I don't know how much time you spent on set.
Yeah, I was up and down because my episodes, I'll be in the finale now, but like, I was kind of every second episode. So it was actually fun. The people are lovely. I think because it's such serious stuff that they're talking about, that you're doing, and it's quite emotional and intense, everyone has a laugh on set, so it's actually really relaxed, really good crack, and the lead cast are just so nice and really supportive, because a lot of my stuff was kind of emotional, and I was and funny, because I was having a few phone conversations with Stephen on the on film.
Yes.
So they were kind of very good at saying, like, can we just give Amy a minute and let her kind of build, the lead cast were like, give her a minute, let her kind of like get her emotions.
They were reminding you.
They were reminding me, which was great, because I'd be used to going in on a regular series, going in for a few days or a few weeks and just having to present everything, but they were really kind of like good with me. It was great.
Good on them. And apparently Adrian Dunbar was saying that there are three main flats. There's Vicky's flat is where they go to learn the lines.
Yeah.
And his flat is where they go to eat, and Martin's flat is where they go to party.
Yeah, I was wondering. That actually sounds about right. That sounds like a fair assessment. Yeah. Because even when we were up there, I think Vicky was doing a tape, and that was all in her flat, and it feels like Martin, I'd say Adrian can probably give him a run for his money as well. I would imagine, yeah.
Let's find out a little bit about yourself, because the musical Annie is either one of the most screechingly irritating things of all time, or it is an epoch-defining cultural phenomenon that you will keep with you for the rest of your days.
Yes.
I suspect you're the latter of those two things.
Oh, yes, definitely. Oh, Annie is like, God, your researchers are good.
Yeah, aren't they?
Yeah. Annie is like formed, but it's the reason I wanted to be an actress when I was a kid. I used to be acting out scenes from it when I was
3.
When I was 3, in my back garden, in any corner of the house that my mum would find me in.
What scenes, or was it the songs or the scenes?
All of them. Miss Hannigan scenes. I loved Miss Hannigan. And then the bit where she's getting saved by Punjab, except I was so small I wasn't able to speak properly. So I used to say, instead of Punjab, help me, I used to be hanging out of like the car saying like, Kungwab, help me. So I was a big fan of that. And I think my mum always knew I wanted to be an actress, because she was kind of saying, I was doing it on my own. I was like in a big family, but I was in a little corner doing it on my own. So she was saying it was for myself. It was never kind of for people to be looking at me.
Yes.
It was like for the pure love and enjoyment out of it. So I definitely keep that way. It was formative years.
And did the sun come out tomorrow? I mean, that was the big question you were probably asking.
Yeah. It always comes out tomorrow.
Big family of girls.
Of what?
Of girls.
Of girls, the show.
Your family.
Big family of girls. I thought you said big fan of girls. I'm a big fan of girls because I'm from a family of girls.
But how many? You've got you and
4 sisters. So
wow.
So there's 5 of us all together, and then my mum and my poor dad, and we just And
I bet you it's not your poor dad.
He needed it. To be fair,
I'd say do you not all? You're not all looking for that time with your dad, or he's lucky to be surrounded by all those girls.
I think he secretly enjoyed it, because I remember my mum said every time it was another girl, there might be a fella saying to him, sorry about that, and he'd be like, no, I'm not sorry, we'd be delighted.
Of course.
So and we're good for him. I think he needs girls. I think he needs
just to keep him,
to take him down a peg or two. You won't mind me saying.
Yeah, I'm with him on that. I know how he feels, but but ultimately it's definitely enriching. You went to Trinity College, is that right? For a little while.
For very briefly.
What happened?
I had always wanted to do acting, and it was kind of at that kind of time there wasn't a huge amount of drama schools or anything over here.
Yeah.
And I sort of fell into going to English literature because I did well in my leaving cert and I got the points. I was like, I'll go and do English literature in Trinity. And I just realised I wanted to be like performing plays. I didn't want to be reading them. And I actually was getting sick as well. And I think it was like totally, now looking back, stress and probably the fact that I was doing something that was not what I wanted to do.
And you also, when you go to a college like that, you've got that sense of, I presume, the parental expectations that they want you, if your parents are like me, all they want is that you're happy and well.
Exactly.
But you probably took on the burden of going, but I'm here and I don't want to trouble them, and if I leave, and
and it seemed like it would be just too huge to even kind of like broach kind of. But it was actually, my mum said to me, she was saying like, you're not really happy here, are you?
Good on her.
And she was like, and my mum always had that attitude of like, if you don't like something, just leave.
Good attitude.
And so I spent the year then auditioning for drama schools and then went to London and never looked back. It was bizarre to me that at 19 I just literally left and didn't look back, because that wasn't really, it didn't feel like it was my personality. I felt like I was quite shy and quiet and a home bird, but actually I think the ambition just got the better of me, and I was like, let's do this.
What's it like then when you qualify from drama school in the UK? I always get the sense it might be like the Hunger Games among you all, trying to get parts.
It's intense and it's scary, and it's and suddenly you've gone from doing something that you absolutely love every day 9 to 5 into just trying to find work and doing temp jobs and doing, you know, bits and bobs to try and get by. Yeah. And even then you'd have to like print out all your photographs and all of your, I said like I'm 100 years old, I'm not, but you know, print out your CVs and photos and post them. And it was insane, but kind of I think 90% is sticking with it. And then I started writing as well. So that kind of gave me a creative outlet as well. So it meant that I wasn't just kind of sitting there waiting for the phone to ring, which was huge. So
things took off pretty quickly in the sense that you were in different things, like the Jason Bourne film a few years ago.
Yeah.
What is that like, that sort of set, the magnitude of it? Or
it's ridiculous.
Where's it, Warner Brothers?
It was in the Warner Brothers studio, yeah. The stuff we were filming was there. And it was huge.
In London?
In London, yeah. So they were filming in loads of different locations, including like Las Vegas and everything. But of course we got London, which is fine.
Take it.
I'll take it. But it was like, you could see how you could easily lose the run of yourself. There'd be people kind of like, you know, what coffee do you want? What green juice do you want? You have your own little, you know, every need is met. You have and you always have a driver, obviously, when you're doing these gigs. But it was kind of like the cars were spectacular, and it was like they don't speak to you unless you speak to them, and it's very
right.
You can see how
a little taste of the crazy.
Yeah, a little taste of the crazy. You'd really have to be kind of pulled down to earth, you know, if you allowed yourself.
You just go home for dinner with the sisters.
Yeah. Oh God, they keep me on my. They keep me well grounded.
I can well believe it. So go on. You go into Warner Bros., and this is where like Harry Potter is made, and it's got a great sense of the past about it. So tell me what happens. You're like a wide-eyed.
Oh yeah, no, it was incredible. And actually, we were doing our stuff with Alicia Vikander was in it, and she had just filmed The Danish Girl with Eddie Redmayne. Mm-hmm. And there was one point where we were hanging around afterwards, and she was going, I have to go because I have to meet a friend. And I was like, yes, I also have to meet a friend. And she was like, yeah, I'm just going to go over and meet Eddie. And I was like, oh no, mine's just like an ordinary friend. She's just in
I'm
London.
going to meet a human.
Yeah, an actual person. Sorry.
And her other friend turned out to be Michael Fassbender.
Oh yeah,
they're going out to get a lovely couple actually.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
So, yeah, exactly.
But anyway, back to that. So she scoots off to meet Eddie, and you go and meet your friend.
And I go meet friend. Yeah. But no, it was like the sets were huge, and so but that's the great thing about those huge sets and everything. They give you such a taste of what, like, you feel like you're in that world. Yeah. So it's not even acting at that point. It's just kind of, you're just there, and it's an incredible experience and huge. And the director Paul Greengrass is like, he's incredible and very supportive and very into real acting and trying to make it kind of like a documentary, which is also a really lovely, you know, and actually kind of probably really good training for Line of Duty, because the acting's so naturalistic there as well. It's
great. And Greengrass, anything he's made, you have to see, it's compelling.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's just a different style. On the big screen, especially. Yeah. You're just going, what is he? I remember, I think he did the Bloody Sunday thing, and
yes, he did.
I remember saying one of the biggest stars of that film was the phone, because it kept ringing. Yeah. In the chaos, like I just thought, somebody answered the bloody phone, and it kept going. Yeah. I was like, that's brave.
Oh, yeah. And such a sense of atmosphere. He's amazing.
Now, I want to talk to you about Lady Mary Heath.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm a history guy, I've never heard of her. And I'm embarrassed to say this because...
No, don't be. Neither have I.
Well, having read up on her, I'm going, how have I never heard of her?
I know.
So you wrote and you're starring in I See You.
Yes.
Which is a play about this extraordinary woman from Limerick. Mm-hmm. Tell me everything.
Yeah, she's incredible. She was born in... she was around in early 1900s Ireland. She was married 3 times in 1900s Ireland.
Which in itself is extraordinary.
Yeah, exactly. And she was the first female commercial pilot. She flew the length of first person to fly the length of Africa to London. First person to parachute out of a plane. She was a big athlete, a prize-winning athlete. She campaigned for women's sports to be in the Olympic programme. She was a complete and utter trailblazer, and originally from Limerick. Oh, her father also bludgeoned her mother to death, and she was there as a baby witness to it. So she just had this mad, incredible life.
I want to read about her, and obviously I need to see your play, because, you know, we talk about history a lot on the programme, and there is a sense, and not to be too faux woke about it, but there is a sense that women just got a raw deal in history. Yeah. And that it's a long time coming that they're being plucked, and they have to be plucked from the shadows and be told, sorry, we passed you by because there were previous generations refused to accept that you could be amazing too.
Yeah, and it suited that time. It suited, there was because it was a patriarchy back then, it suited that time that she probably was a bit lost in the walls of history or shoved in, as I like to say, a little bit.
Polyfill in the walls.
Exactly. I'd just keep her in there. And her story is a movement dedicated to kind of reclaiming the lost stories of Irish women. So it's a great actual resource to have as well. And Mel Lynch, the founder of it, came to me and presented me with Lady Mary Heath. She'd seen my one-woman shows before and was saying, I think you'd really enjoy this person. And I only did an opening monologue for the launch of her story and Culture Night and a few things like that. But I couldn't get rid of Lady Mary Heath. She kind of stayed with me.
Skin.
Yeah, she really did. And because she's her whole character is so powerful and so incredible. So then I kind of put her story side by side with a modern day Mary's version, and modern Mary's played by Roxana Nick-Liam, and the whole thing just kind of came together. And so it's been kind of an incredible experience, really. And Lady Mary Heath has taught me even so much just by playing her, by such a powerful woman,
I can see the film. I can certainly read
that's next now on my list.
Really, but it's such a great story, and I presume there's a book about her somewhere.
There is. The only resource that I really had was Lady Icarus by Lindy Naughton, and it's very it's an in-depth kind of book about every single bit of her life, but that was really it. I had to really even search that out as well. And of course her story. And there's some. I was saying recently, there's some plaque up in Limerick that I saw a YouTube video of. Years ago being put up, but no one even knows where it is. It's just. It's really hard to find anything about her.
Well, I tell you, the next time we're down in Limerick, we'll definitely make it our business to talk about her and try and maybe even find some family, the Heath family.
I think some of her family might be coming to the show in Belltable tonight. I think.
Tell them I was asking for them. and you've got your hair today. I mean, it's lost in us now. We'll put a picture up later on, but your hair is kind of you're in 20s sort of mode or thereabouts.
Exactly.
Is that the idea?
Yeah, exactly. And the idea of the show is that Lady Mary Heath is almost kind of lost in the walls of history, and she's trying to communicate with this modern day Mary character who so it's modern day Mary's time, it's modern day Mary's space, but almost like that Lady Mary, through telling her story, and hopefully modern Mary hearing on some level, she'll be able to make a change in her life.
Love it.
Yeah, and break the cycle.
That's at the Belltable
in Limerick tonight.
Good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
Exciting.
Yeah, I have to scoot on down there.
Yeah, get on the road. But we're so happy to see it and to celebrate your achievements to date. Obviously, Line of Duty continues on Sunday night, and we'll see you on Sunday week. I take it is for the last
and the
episode.
Big finale. I think it's 90 minutes, isn't it?
I didn't know it's not special.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler. That I saw that.
No. And before I let you go, who's H?
Oh my god.
Okay, you don't have to answer. I'm not even going to be
you did it too well. You just so calmly.
It's like but you're about to say it. Yeah. Oh God, I'm glad you didn't. I don't want to know.
No, you don't want to know.
I actually don't know, because I was saying to Adrian Dunbar on Friday night, so you're Ted Hastings. So who's H?
Oh my gosh.
Who is H? But that's for another day. That is the 2019 equivalent of Who Shot JR.
Yeah, totally. And just in terms of the series, so much more happens even just in the next two episodes. You're going to have a ball. It's brilliant.
It's what's so good about it is that, no one's safe. Just when you think, they're going to be in it for the rest of the thing, and then that's,
sure, wasn't it Manise in the first
You're not
episode?
allowed, just in case anyone hasn't seen it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I just think not too spoiled.
I audibly gasped a few times when I read the script.
How are you with acronyms?
I am grand.
UCO. Come on.
UCO, Undercover Crime Officer. Is it?
Yeah, Undercover Officer, is it?
Is
UCO.
It? Oh, Undercover Officer, yeah.
UCCO.
Yeah.
You're such a pro.
I'm such a pro. I know all this.
But they're like there's so many. I mean, because I think people were saying at the time the AC 12. We know what that is.
Oh yeah, that's anti-corruption, and that's Unit 12. I know that one now. But they get pretty complex, and I'm like, I don't know what they're saying. I don't know, and I'm like, I've read the script.
I'm not going to put you through any more pain on the acronyms because
that was very kind of you. you. I thought you were going to do more. So
I can do more. What is DCI?
Detective. Detective Chief Inspector.
Yes!
Is it? Yay! There we go.
One last one then.
Okay.
DCC.
Detective.
Yeah.
Chief.
Yeah.
Is that constable as
yes,
well?
Yes, it is. Okay. It's great.
I'm great.
It's like doing homework with all my girls.
Know.
Warm, hot.
Yeah.
Amy, it's been a real pleasure to meet you.
It's been fab. Thank you so much.
I'm delighted for your success, as I say, to date. So stay in touch. Friend of the show
Indeed.
now.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
Best friends.
Hey, good luck tonight.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
Hope it goes
8
really
o'clock
well.
in Limerick and Belltable. Come along, anyone who's
Sounds
out there.
great. Look forward to hearing more about Lady Mary Heath as well. Okay, thanks. Amy De Bhrún joining us live in studio this morning. See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.